Hello and welcome to this guide for learning how to Dota. I'm Free with the GS Network, and today I'm going to show you some of the basic game mechanics for Dota 2, which is a MOBA which has been gaining a lot of popularity since last year, with the International having a huge prize pool. So if you're interested in learning Dota 2, what are the basic things that you need to understand in order to start playing this game? Well, first thing you need to do is download the game. After you've downloaded the game, you'll launch it in your Steam account. You get one Dota account per Steam account. So if you want to make a Smurf later on, you have to make a second Dota account, or a second Steam account, I should say. If you want to just play one account for a certain game type, you're going to need a second Steam account, so keep that in mind. If it's your first time playing, you're going to want to hit I'm a beginner right here. On the first screen you come into, it says Welcome to Dota. Please share your familiarity with Dota 2 and similar games. So they're talking about other MOBA types. A MOBA is a multiplayer online battle arena. They require a lot of teamwork, but you also have to be sort of independent. So if you've never played this type of game type before, then you're going to want to start at a beginner. And basically what these different levels that you're check marking, these are going to put you against players who have similar skill types or knowledge of the game. So like I said, if you're a beginner, click on beginner. If you've played RTS games, real-time strategy games before, or maybe you've played a MOBA before but you haven't played very much, then you're going to want to hit I've played RTS games before. If you've played, League of Legends, Smite, all those MOBAs, Infinite Crisis just came out. Heroes of the Storm is another one. If you've played these games before, then you definitely want to hit this. Or if you've even played Dota before, but you aren't very good, or you haven't played that much, then hit this one. But if you have played Dota a lot, hundreds and hundreds of hours or thousands of hours for some people, you're going to want to click this last one, because the last one puts you in basically a higher bracket. Your ELO or your MMR, everyone knows you have a visible one when you do rank, but you also have a hidden one. And when you start out in these MOBAs, you always start with a hidden ELO or MMR. And when you select these different tabs, basically you're suggesting I should be in this bracket. And then if you do well with that suggestion, you move up, and if you do bad, you fall back. So really, it's important that you pick the bracket you belong in. So if you haven't played Dota before, don't click the bottom one, because you'll be playing against people who have played Dota a lot, and they will be much better than you. And it's not going to work out very well. You're not going to have a fun time. I have roughly about 2,000, 3,000 hours of Dota play across all my accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. This is a big decision, guys. So don't be clicking the wrong one, is what I'm saying. That's why I went through and took the time to explain all of them, because you want to make sure you're in the right bracket to start. So I'm going to click the bottom one.
Welcome back.
It says welcome back, because I told it I've already played. The settings are in the top left over here. So you click this up, and you can see you can change your casting abilities here, your auto cast, your quick cast. You can change how you can control neutrals. In Dota 2, there is a courier, and basically the courier carries items in pots for you. So instead of having to teleport back to your home base, go to the shop, buy your stuff, and go back out to lane, you can have a courier. And so one person on your team at the beginning of the game will usually sacrifice some of their gold and buy a courier, and it allows your team to transfer items faster, stay in the lane longer, which means more gold, more XP, so you level faster. So it really helps the whole team if you have a courier. So you can change those options here. There's also your different unit actions, items. There's active items in the game as well, like all the other MOBAs that are popular. In addition, they also have these neat phrases here that you can bind if you have additional keys. This will be very helpful when you're trying to communicate with your team without typing. In addition, there's also the chat wheel. So the chat wheel is kind of like the other bindings, except you don't press a key binding, you press the chat wheel button, which is Y, and then you move your cursor If you move it up, it goes to push. If you move it down, it goes to get back. So you would hold Y and then pull your mouse down and then let go, and it would say get back. And then you do the same thing for all these other ones. And you can customize them, of course, to whatever you want, or to whatever they provided default. So that does it for this. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn down the sound some. Just get that master volume down there. I don't really need game music. Oh no, that's game volume. My bad. 50. Turn this down. And then the voice volume, a little bit higher. Unit speech volume. Don't do open mic. You don't need to do that. It's a bad idea. People don't want to listen to all your static in the background either. So that's the settings. So let's go ahead and click Let's Play.
Your experience lead you to victory.
So this is the default screen you'll always see when you log into the game. They have all the information here as to like new tournaments coming up, updates to the game are also here. So this is really good to just stay up to date with what's going on in the game and the community. If you click your profile picture, that'll load up your profile, and you can see you have a featured hero, your favorite items, commendations here. So if you play with people and you're a nice person and you try to work together as a team, and you do all that, and you're positive to the community, then you'll have a lot of these. People will report you, but they'll report you for being good. And so these will go up, and this basically tells other players, hey, this guy he's fun to play with, or he's good at teaching people certain mechanics, or he's good at leading the team, or he's forgiving. You know what I mean. So there's that. And then it also shows your most successful heroes as well. And then they added recently, within the last year, they added this gallery of triumphs and all-hero challenge progress. And I really like this all-hero challenge one. So if we view the details here, so it says win a matchmaking game with every hero in a specific order. And so what it does is it picks a random order for you to basically complete this challenge. And so my first guy is Pugna. So I need to beat a game with Pugna, and then I need to beat a game with Vengeful Spirit, and then it'll show me the next one, and so on and so forth. And then once you beat it all, you get a trophy. And when you get the trophy goes in here. So this is like your trophy case. And right now I have no trophies because I just started. So there's that. In addition, we also have the XP or the battle points bar here. This is used for leveling. We have your wins, losses, abandons. You can change your name. You can add a little status. The basics. So what should we do right now? I mean, we've logged in. We've kind of checked out everything. Should we start and immediately go into a ranked match? No, we can't, because we have to be level 13 in the game to do ranked matchmaking, which is a good thing. Some of the other ones are a little bit higher, like Heroes of the Storm just came out or into open beta, and it's level 30 to do ranked, which I think is a little bit better. I think making that a little bit higher than 13 would be beneficial to the community. So we can't play ranked, so let's play normal, right? And the answer is no. You don't want to start playing normal right away. If you look at the default options they gave me, first off, let's just stop and look at the default options. Game modes, we're playing limited heroes. So in Dota, there are 10 different game modes at the moment. And right now, it's only selected one, which is limited heroes. And so this is a smaller pool of heroes. I think it's about 20 heroes. And there's 10 people in the game. And so pretty much, if you just did games like this, you would have the same heroes in the game all the time. But you would learn how to use those heroes very fast because you're not using the larger pool. So this is selected default for all new accounts, just so that if you don't know how to play, then you just start playing, you're playing in a small pool where you're learning stuff. See, it says play with heroes suitable for new players. So they're not giving you the guys with the complex mechanics. But I don't want to do limited heroes, first off. If I was starting to do a game, I would like to do all pick, because I'd like to see the entire hero pool. And some other really good modes to try out, only for experienced players. This is for when you're a little bit later in the game. would be Captain's Mode and Captain's Draft. This is what really sets it apart from some of the other MOBAs, is I really, really like that these modes are included. They also have some kind of like additional draft types, like a random draft or ability draft is even very, very interesting. But those modes are somewhat unbalanced because they're not the standard gameplay. Like ability draft, you do like kind of a lottery system and you pick your abilities. So you get to pick your ult, you get to pick your Q, your W, your E, and your R. So you can, and it's not from just that character, it's from all the character abilities in the pool. So you can have this very complex character that takes abilities from 5 different characters. And it becomes very interesting and very fun at sometimes. So, once you've played a little bit more and you want to try to focus more on that, like really focusing on team-oriented play and learning how to play the meta or how they would play it, maybe higher MMRs or ELOs, you're going to want to try these captain modes because that's the way the game should be played. All pick is, it's a pub game. All pick is good for quick games, but you're going to get pub type scenarios. Regions. So let's go ahead and look at the regions here. They have a lot of regions. They've been adding some every year. For default, it had me on US West, US East, and Peru, which seems odd. I'm in the middle of the United States. I don't want to connect to Peru. This is 76 milliseconds, and this is 109, and this is 179. So you want to go in here and decheck the automatic pick regions. You want to pick the regions that are closest to you. So I would want US West and US East. So select that. Language preference. This is very, very key, people. If you do not select this, then you will be queuing in your normal matches and your ranked matches and your practice 1v1s, which I'll talk about later. You're going to be queuing with other people that have no language preference. Because it's all about the matchmaking. In MOBA, it's all about matching up the game so that you have 5 people versus 5 people, and the statistics of each team winning is 50%. That's how ELO and MMR systems are supposed to work. But if you have someone on your team that doesn't speak your language, or you don't speak their language, and the other team is full of people that speak a common language, or there's some way they can communicate easily, your team's at a disadvantage right away, because if something goes wrong or if something goes well or if you want to change your plan or whatever you want to do, you can't communicate. You can't tell them in 2 seconds, hey, let's push this or let's do that or let's retreat or let's go here. I mean, you can use the in-game chat wheel, but it's very coarse. If you want to do something that's not in the chat wheel, it's going to be more difficult. So you want to select your language is what I'm saying. Long story short, make sure you select language capabilities. You can do up to 3 preferred languages, but you don't really need to. And theme map preference, I don't think this makes any difference at all. So just make sure you hit language capabilities and make sure you select your language. So mine is English, my regions are US West, US East, and my game modes are all pick for now, just to start. Because I want to try all the heroes, and most of the game is learning the other heroes and what they can do. Because if you come up to someone in the game and you've never seen this character before, you have no idea what it's capable of or what even type of character it is. Is it ranged? Is it melee? Is it AoE? Is it bursty damage? Like, are they going to kill you really fast, or are they going to just have a long battle with you and sustain and kill you? You'll do damage to them, but they'll heal it somehow, and then they'll just, you have to know. That's what I'm getting at, is you need to know what the heroes can do. And so that's why you really don't want to go into a normal match and start playing real players at the beginning. I highly suggest you don't do that. If you're a new player or you haven't played that much, you really don't want to do that. Because you're going to be playing with people who have played for a while, they know the heroes, they know what they can do, they know the maps. And you don't know anything yet. So try to veer away from that. So we set up our normal match configurations. The ranked matches will stay the same, and the 1v1s, they all stay consistent, except for the game mode in 1v1. So the practice 1v1, basically, if you just want to try to practice maybe your solo mid game, so you like to go mid in League of Legends or whatever game you're playing, you like to be in the middle of the map so that you have more influence on the other lanes. Usually the best player on the team goes in the middle. I'm not saying if you're super good or you think you're super good, go in the middle, because you want to learn all the different roles in the game. You can't just be a mid player in Dota. You need to be able to play other positions. So keep that in mind. But if you want to practice your mid game, or maybe you have a friend and you guys want to both, practice your jungle game, but you don't want to play a full game and have 4 people on your team, and maybe you want to quit halfway through and try something else because you're both trying to work on something, whatever. There's an additional mode called Practice 1v1, and you can do that with randoms. And if you want to do with a friend, then you would do a bot match. And so this is what I recommend for like new players. If you've never played Dota before, you're not very up to date on MOBAs, or you're not up to date on the new mechanisms in Dota 2, which we'll talk about in just a moment, you're going to want to start a bot match. There's also the training system here, but this training is very, very elementary. It's just like, okay, click to walk, click to shoot this guy. Here's some basic stuff. It's not going to help you that much as actually playing a game. And you can also do find a coach. So if you have friends on Steam that already play the game, you can ask them to be your coach, and then there's sort of like a win-win where you get more experience, I think, for leveling, so you level faster, and then the coach gets more experience too, or something like that. And then finally, there's also the private lobbies and the tournaments and all that jazz in here you can look through. And then there's custom games from the workshop. So in the workshop on Steam, there are games not games, but mods being made where there's one where it's 5 Pudge players, 5 players as the hero Pudge on one side of a river, and 5 heroes as the hero, or 5 players as the hero Pudge on the other side. And Pudge he's got a long hook, and he can pull the other players across the river. And so it's just kind of like a game of who can run up to the river and try to hook another Pudge and pull him across and then kill him. Because once you're pulled across the river, there's no way to get back over, so you're trapped and you die pretty much. And then you can upgrade the speed of your hook and the range of your hook. And so there's lots of different mods out there. If you want to try something else besides the main game, this is something else to look into. But that's enough intro. Let's get into it a little bit, guys. So we're going to start a bot match. I'm not going to use matchmaking to find some human teammates because I don't want to play humans yet. I don't even know anything about the game. Difficulty, I'm going to put it on medium. You could probably stay on easy, but if you've played MOBAs, medium's fine to start. The bots aren't too high. And if you look at the starting team, so there's 2 teams, obviously, in MOBAs. And in Dota 2, there's the Radiant, and then there's the Dire. And so the Radiant is going to be in the bottom left corner, and the Dire is in the top right corner. I'm going to pick the Radiant. We'll start Radiant side. And let's go ahead and start the game. So the Radiants are in the bottom left, and Radiant, as the name implies, is sort of bright. So it's kind of the bright side of the map. Like it's a lush forest and all this stuff. And then Dire, which sort of implies dark, is on the top right side, and it's like a forest that's sort of haunted looking, and all the trees are almost dead, and like it's a contrast, a light and dark contrast on the map.
All pick.
Okay, so now we're in the picking screen. So we can scroll through our heroes using the mouse or the arrow keys, and we can alt enter to quickly confirm, or we can just straight up type in their name. Like if I just hit P, then it goes all the way to P. And if I hit G, it goes to G. So you don't have to necessarily sit here and scroll with the mouse or use the mouse wheel like I'm using now. You can just type in the character's name. And you can also go down here and hit Control, and this gives you the grid view. So here are all the heroes in the game. And so this is why the game suggests that you start with the limited pool, because there's only 20 guys. And in this pool, there's like a lot more, like 70. So 20 seconds to play. Let's start out with someone pretty simple. I'm going to pick Dro Ranger.
10 seconds remaining.
So the Dro Ranger
5
is an
seconds
archer,
remaining.
and it may be beneficial to start the game when you first start playing, to start as a ranged character.
So be it.
Because you won't be
Prepare for
chasing as
battle.
much, and I'll explain a little bit later what I mean by that. So, explain what I'm doing here. I'm in the back of the base. You can see down here in the corner, here's the map. And I'm in the bottom left.
My bow.
And the shop is right here. So I can click him to open the shop, or I can just click the shop here, or there's a hotkey as well. And I've bought the suggested items. So you can customize your build order up here, and you can
30
load in
seconds to battle.
other people's builds as well.
Way ahead of you.
So there's people that have already customized and built builds right here. So if you don't know how to play a character, you can just come up here and just look at the suggested items, or look at the suggested build and look at the ratings from the community. So this guy has a 29, and he also has the patch number. So this is he says this is the easy
The
godlike
battle
Dro
begins.
for patch number 6.80. We're not in 6.80.
I'm ready to fly.
Turn my sound down real quick. We're not in 6.0 anymore, so it may not necessarily be the best build anymore, but it gives you an idea of what to do. So you're not just like playing blind. This is why you play bots first, is so I can sit in the back here. I'm not affecting anyone's gameplay. I'm not ruining anyone's time. You know, if I was in a real game right now, everyone would be yelling at me because I'm AFK and they're fighting. I'm trying to learn just the basics here. So yeah, you can load in builds. So whatever character you pick, there's builds from the community that give you suggestions.
To battle.
So you definitely want to check that out for sure. And this little donkey guy, this is the courier. So I can control him, and everyone on my team, if they were humans, they would be able to control him too. So like I can hit Q, and that returns the courier to the base. And this is the base. So if I hit Q, he just walks to this guy, the shop guy. If I hit W, that sends the courier to your team's secret shop. So if I hit W, he just starts walking. And he starts walking over here. Here's where the secret shop is. So already you see that in Dota 2 there's some different mechanisms here. We have a courier that can transfer our goods. So he can hold stuff. He has 6 slots here. Everyone on my team can control him. He can also be killed. So if I put him in the lane, like let's say I ran him up here, he would die, and the other team would get points and experience for killing the courier. And so now I'm at the secret shop. See right here. So if I bought something, let's say I bought the Orb of Venom. I bought it with my character, but put it on the courier because the courier's at the shop. So you can send your courier to the secret shop, or you can send him to the normal shop, and then you can have him deliver the goods to you while you're in lane. So if I was in lane in middle or something, I could have him deliver this item to me. So let's see, where's the deliveries? So I press F. It says transfer item to hero. And he will walk wherever I am.
Very well.
So if I run away right now, he'll follow me. Oh, he dropped it off. Oh no, he didn't. My inventory is full. So I need to free up my inventory.
Good enough.
And I'll walk over here real quick. and then I will press F, transfer items to hero. And he will walk over here, and he gives me the item, right? So now he doesn't have the item, I have it, because he delivered it.
My sentiments.
So that's a huge thing you have to realize at the beginning of the game. If you have full life and you have full mana, like this Death Prophet has, the AI is using the courier right now to get an item, to get the Ring of Basilisk.
Yes.
So you don't have to leave lane, is what I'm saying. If you have, okay life and okay mana, and you need to buy an item, and no one is using the courier at the moment, then you can just access the courier, buy the item, and have them deliver it to you. And the quick way to switch between your player and the courier is F1 and F2. So if I hit F2, it switches to the courier. If I hit F1, it switches to my player. If I want to switch to the courier and move my map to the courier, I double tap F2, and then I'm on the courier. If I want to find my character, like select my character and go to my character on the map, I double tap F1.
Agreed.
And so these are fundamental things. Like, people will get into games and maybe they know a little bit about MOBAs and stuff like that, but they don't know about the courier, so they don't know that they can get those items without going back. So I see a lot of new players going all the way back to base to buy items when they don't need to. You can just get it from the courier when he's available. So that's the courier system, and switching to the courier and switching to your player back and forth quickly, that's important. Another thing that's super, super important in this game are tangos.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
So tangos, basically what this says is, it says eat a tree. Consume a tree to restore health over time. It comes with 4 charges. So you buy a tango and it gives you 4 stacks.
I go in silence.
And I'll take some damage here and I'll show you. So if your life is low,
Arrow. Find your target.
so I've taken a little bit of damage here. And I'm taking some DOT right now.
My sentiments as well.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press X, because that's the key right here. You see the X in the top left corner. That's the key you use for actives. I press X and then I find a tree and I eat the tree. I don't know why you eat the tree, but you eat the tree. And you can see my life is regenerating. Now, if I went ahead and, here it is working its magic. So it takes, the duration is 16 seconds. So if I eat a tree, then it heals me for 16 seconds, restoring 7.3 HP per second. So that happens for 16 seconds. Now, if I went ahead and ate another one real quick, it refreshes the 16 seconds, but you lose all the seconds that you should have had. So what I'm saying is, these do not stack. So if one is already active like it is now and I use another, I wasted it. So I have to wait till that disappears, and now I can eat another one. So don't go into lane and get hurt and then eat a tango thinking you're healing, and then eat another tango thinking you're healing faster, because you're not. You're wasting your tangos. The other thing that you'll see for healing is called a healing salve. So I can use this with the Z key, that's the active to use it. And what it says is it regenerates. So it restores HP on the target over time, but if the unit is attacked, the effect is lost. And so this has a duration of 10 seconds, so the duration is lower, and it restores about the same amount of health. But if you get hit, then it negates it and it turns it off. So with the healing salve and the tango, it's sort of a trade-off. The tango, it doesn't matter if you get hit, it always will heal you until its duration is over. The healing salve will heal you faster, much faster, but as soon as you get hit, you lose that ability. It's off, the duration canceled. So you want to have one of both sometimes. Here's a kill right there, nice. AI got a kill. So when you're first starting, we've gone through some of the major basics so far. But one of the main things is your abilities, which are different for every character. So you have your 3 abilities and then your ultimate.
My bow is
And you can level these in any order, and it depends, on your play style with that hero, um, which which uh, which way you want to level it. But when you first start out, make sure you get level 1 of each. Some of the advanced builds will say, don't get this one till level 7, or don't get this till level 4. But when you're first starting out, you need to have all your
my
skills.
sentiments as well.
So you want to get your Q level 1, your W level 1, and your E level 1. And once you have that, then if you want to go all frost arrows or all whatever, you can do it. But you want to have at least all your abilities by level 3 when you first start the game. So I used my healing salve just because I wanted to use it. It wasn't a great time, but we're playing bots, so it doesn't really matter. We're just learning. Back up a little bit. Wow. Here we go. Here's a kill. Oh, I'm low. I'm gonna die. Okay, I died. So we just had a battle here. It was 2v2. We killed the warlock quickly. Then I died. But Viper, this guy here, this bot, he killed the other guy. So I died, but we killed 2 of their guys. So that's good. I leveled up as well, so let's get that.
I go in silence.
Okay, so now that I've been in lane for a while and I have some gold, normally you would either teleport back or you would buy the items with your courier and then bring them to you in lane. But since I died, I'm back in base already, so I can just buy. So I'm going to buy Boots of Speed. So this is so critical to this game. You won't do very well in this game if you do not buy your boots early. This gives you 50 movement speed extra, and towards like level 6, 7, and 8, getting close, in a couple levels, the lanes are going to start to be a little bit more dynamic, and this guy may go up through the river and attack these guys, or he may come down here and attack these guys, the gank and all that kind of stuff. Trying to get a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 and try to get an extra kill, because that gives you gold and experience, and that's how you level up faster than your opponents, is by taking their towers here or killing them. So there's objectives to the games besides just killing little creeps and just killing the heroes. You also want to take out their towers, and as you take out these towers, so the first row was tier 1. These are tier 2 towers I'm Xing now. Then there's their tier 3 right there. And then finally you have 2 sets of tier 5s. Or no, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, tier 4s. And then the ancient is tier 5, which is the last one. So, as players start to reach level 6 and they're able to use their ultimate, which is much more powerful than these other abilities, right around that time, level 6, level 7, that's when people are going to start to look for kills, and they're going to start to wander and look around for people that are too far away from their base, or too far away from their team, or their life is too low, or they have no mana to defend themselves, or something like that. They're going to be looking for that and trying to get a kill and get that advantage. So you want to go back to the shop, or you want to access the shop and get your boots and get some of your other basic items before you get to level 6 or 7. Or even level 8 or 9, depending on who you're playing. Maybe they'll go earlier, maybe they'll go later, you don't know. So, but you wanna, as soon as you get gold, you wanna buy stuff if you can, because when you die, you lose some of that gold. So if you look over here, it says I have 105 reliable gold and 460 unreliable gold. Reliable gold comes from killing creeps and towers and heroes. That's reliable gold, or not heroes. creeps and towers is reliable gold. Unreliable gold is the tick that you get every second plus hero gold.
Middle tower has fallen.
So when you die, you lose part of your unreliable gold, but your reliable gold you keep. So if you're just killing creeps and stuff and you die, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're killing heroes and you have a high tick because you're saving up for something that's, 1,000 gold and then you die right before, that's a huge setback. So you want to be spending your gold when you can. So I'm just going to keep buying what they say for me to buy.
Yes.
So I'm working towards this Ring of Aquila. I bought my boots, so I'm much faster now.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, we're going to get some kills here. So, right there, we just killed 4 of them. I almost died, but we almost killed 4. Or we did kill 4, I'm sorry. So, I'm going to go back to base.
So be it.
So how do I go back to base? I'm just going to walk because I'm close enough. So I'm going to walk, but I actually forgot what the key was to go back to base. So let's look.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Or maybe you can't teleport. I think that's... I'm thinking of Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, I don't think you can teleport in this game. Back to base. Or maybe you can and I forgot. Oh, no. You can teleport. I'm sorry. I'm confusing you probably, but in this game you can teleport, but you have to buy a teleport scroll. You don't have a skill that just lets you teleport whenever you want. You have to have one of these, a town portal scroll. So I'm going to buy 3 of them. And this is your town portal. So you would teleport back here, but you can also use this to teleport to a friendly building. So I'm going to teleport to this tower because I need to help this bottom lane. Or I did, they're all leaving now, but they were all down here. So to do that, I'm going to hit the hotkey Z and then click by the building. And so I channel the ability. It's like a 3-second channeled ability, and then you teleport near the friendly building. And there's a 65-second cooldown, so you can't just continuously do it whenever you want. And if they interrupt you, I'm dead. Damn. I was trying to say something. If you're channeling your town portal and someone comes up and hits you with a basic attack or something like that, or a stun, then it interrupts your town portal and it cancels it, and then you have to, run. So if I was channeling a town portal here back to base and they hit me, I'd have to run. I couldn't just keep teleporting back. So I still have my town portals, so I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to try to help my team.
I'll cut a knot.
So we're going to try to kill this guy, this axe guy. Oh, he's channeling. See, he gets away. And so the reason that he got away there was because we didn't have a stun. Basic attacks do nothing to a town portal channel. I actually, kind of messed that up there a little bit. But yeah, you need a stun to stop them from teleporting. So keep that in mind. And then one of the more finer details is going to be lane control in this game. So you can see that I can sort of block these guys, right? I sort of put my body in front of them, I block them, and I can slow them down. And so you're asking yourself, why am I doing that? That's so stupid. I don't even know why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you block your creeps, so these are creeps, and if I come up here and I block them, that slows them down for half a second. And if I continually do it, you can see how that front guy is getting farther and farther ahead. And what that does is it pulls your lane back closer to your side of the map, because your creeps meet up with them at different times. I'm dead. So I'll give you an example right here. So these creeps are too far pushed forward. So if you were on the dire side, the red team here, and you were right here, and you're trying to kill these creeps, well, you're really close to this bridge, which is kind of bad because mid can come up through this river and come up these stairs and come up behind you and, you know, gank you. So what you want to do in some circumstances is you want to reset the lane so that the lane is either closer to your tower. Like if you're losing your lane, you want the creeps closer to your tower because it's safer. But if you're winning your lane and you're, you know, over leveled and you're trying to push the top tower to knock it over, then you want to push the lane. So there's these subtleties to the lane dynamic. So I could come up here and I could interrupt these guys, and now I have all the creeps by my tower, which is much safer. Since we're losing, I want this by my tower. So I'm just going to kind of, you know, continue to do this for a bit. Oops. Even though we're losing, I'm not affecting anyone's game, and I'm learning how to play. You know, it's okay to say you don't know everything about the game and you're still trying to learn how to play. One of the main problems with MOBAs is that people just jump straight in. They don't look at the tutorials, they don't play any of the bots, they don't learn any of the heroes. They just start trying to play. And these games are all about learning the heroes. And so, you know, we talked a little bit about the lane dynamic and controlling the lane, but there's much, much more we still have to work on. So I'm not just attacking constantly. Like, I could just be sitting here shooting this guy constantly, but I don't want to do that. I want the last hit. So like when this guy gets low, I want to be the last one to hit him so that I kill him, because otherwise I don't get experience and I don't get as much gold for killing him. So that's one thing that really separates Dota from some of the other MOBAs. Oh shit. That was a mistake big time. I'm dead. Yep. I messed up. That was a big mistake. I was trying to say something. So you can get in front of your creeps and you can block them so that they collide with you and then they slow down. And then as they're slowing down, the other enemy creeps are moving at normal speed. And so where they meet changes because of you blocking your creeps. It brings the enemy creeps closer to your tower. Now, if I didn't block my creeps, but I went up and blocked their creeps, the enemy creeps, then it would move it closer to their tower, and we don't want that. So you have that sort of lane dynamic where you can adjust where the creeps meet so that it's you have the advantage or something like that. But you also have to get the last hits. Because if you don't get the last hit on the creep, then you don't get any of the experience or the gold. Or you get very little. This is opposed to a game like Heroes of the Storm. In Heroes of the Storm, you don't have the last hit. You just have to be near the enemy when he dies, and then you get the XP.
Enemy's top tower has fallen.
In League of Legends, you have to get last hits too. So I got a couple last hits there. But one thing that's in this game that's not in League of Legends, and it's not in any of the other MOBAs, if you play them, is denying. So I can kill the enemy creeps, but I can also kill my creeps. But only when they're low. So I'll show you in a second. Alright, so watch when one of my guys gets weak, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press A, and then I'm going to right click him.
My bow.
I got melted. Just trying to help push with Death Prophet, but I got melted. And why did I get melted? I mean, if you're watching this, if you've never played, you don't know why. Because you don't know the hero Lion. And Lion has an ultimate skill called Finger of Death, which does insane amount of spell damage. And he pretty much killed me in one shot with it. I got a little low from Axe, and then he ulted me and killed me. So this is why we're doing bot matches. We're not just picking a character and playing against heroes we've never played against, and then our hidden ELO or our hidden MMR will go down, and it'll put you with worse and worse players. But some people aren't that bad. They're just learning to play. You know what I mean? So if you're just learning to play, but you're actually a very good gamer, then you don't want to start playing all these normal matches. You want to play for spots first. And so that's what we're doing. We're playing versus some bots just to get a feel for the game. Another game mechanic exposed. So buying back is a mechanic in the game as well. So if you die, and you have enough gold left over after you're dead, if you have enough gold left over, you can buy back in. So you can pay like almost all your money you have and get back in the game instantly instead of waiting. So like if your team is getting beat up pretty bad, like if they're in your base and like your whole team wipes but you think you can still win, then you all could buy back in real quick. And once you buy back in, you lose all that gold, but then you're in the game instantly, so maybe you can get 3 kills or something, and it'll be worth it. So there's also the chance to buy back in when you die. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Like when you're dead, you'll see a thing that says, "Do you want to buy back in?" So I'm not going to get into that at all, but let's talk about the denying. So when your heroes, or not your heroes, your creeps, this guy here, he's low on life, I can press A, and it gives me a little red arrow next to my cursor, and then I can click my hero, or my creep. I keep saying hero, my creep. And I can kill my own creep. Why would I do that? Because that doesn't give any XP or gold to the enemy. Because if they kill them, they get XP and gold. But if I kill them, they don't get anything. So this is very interesting. So when that gets low, I can kill it so that no one else can. And you'll see a big exclamation point when you kill it. See that? And so that's what you want to do. So I'm gonna get some items. So I told the courier to go get my stuff, and now, wait, no, retrieve items, so I press D. Oop. Back up a little bit before I die here. I'm gonna actually just walk back. Or no, I'm gonna teleport back. So yeah.
I go in silence.
Okay. So now I have a Shadow Blade. So what does this even do? This was recommended for me. This is going to be different on all characters. Some characters you'd never buy this. Some characters you do buy it. So the Shadow Blade has an active ability that makes you invisible until the duration ends or until you attack or cast a spell.
Very well.
So I'm visible now, and if I hit X and activate my Shadow Blade, I become invisible. Enemy team cannot see me on radar or in the game until I attack or the duration ends.
Yes.
So this item is good on the Drow because the Drow is very weak. The Drow is a ranged archer which has pretty high damage at the end of the game, sort of a attack damage carry if you're using League of Legends terminology. So I'm gonna flop these guys just for a bit for fun. But the Drow is also very weak, so you need to have the ability, like some defensive ability, because none of these skills except the W silences and pushes the enemy back. So that's sort of a defensive skill, but you also need other defensive skills, like being able to become invisible instantly. Like if you're almost dead and like they're on top of you and you're gonna die and then you just boom, I'm invisible. Then the only way they can find you is if they have a sentry ward, which shows invisible characters. But if they don't have that, then you're fine. There we go. Get another kill. So we just got 2 kills there. We're going to keep pushing. I'm just going to keep adding to my... So I got another kill. So we're working as a team right now. Even though they're bots, they're working as a team, which is good. Because this is definitely a team game. You need to be with your team. The later the game is, so we're 30 minutes into the game right now versus the bots. The later this timer is, the more and more you need to be with your team. If it's 30 minutes into the game and you're by yourself, or you're just with one other guy and you're not like achieving an objective or doing something very, very super productive for your team, then you're hurting your team. Like, you need to be with your team at all times. Use some frost arrows. Oh, I'm too deep. I'm not by my team. Where's my team? Over here. I'm gonna run over here. So just, always be kind of mindful of where you are and where your team is and what your team is doing. If your team is pushing objectives like we are right now, killing stuff and trying to win, you need to be with them. You don't need to be doing other things like farming. I'm dead. Oh, I got a heal. I got a nice heal. And I live. Oh, and I died. Okay. Oh, well. So we talked about lane control a little bit, blocking your creeps, last hitting, denying, controlling your hero, controlling the courier, buying from the secret shop, buying from the normal shop, activating your actives with your tangos and your salving healing salves. So lots of things to talk about. Kind of rush through them a lot in just one bot match, but let's just look at how I did. Even though I wasn't really playing, let's just look at how I did. So I was level 12. My teammates were 18, 15, 21, and 18, and the enemy team's levels were 11, 14, and 11, 14, 11. So my team had the advantage because we were higher levels. I didn't do so good because my level was pretty low compared to my team. It was better than the enemy, roughly. It was on average with them, but I wasn't keeping up with my team. Let's look at last hits. I only had 35 because I wasn't really in the lane all the time killing creeps. And you look at some of these other people, he had 118 or 122. Those are good scores. You need to practice your last hitting. I know this sounds like, a bunch of practicing and training before you even start playing the game and playing heroes, but if you've never played a MOBA where you have to last hit, where you have to hit the guy last, so you get the XP and the gold, that's going to be kind of difficult when you first start. And that really determines how much gold per minute and how much XP per minute you get. Denies, I had 6 denies, so I killed 6 of my own creeps, which means that the enemy didn't get to kill 6. And if you look at Viper, he had 41 denies. So he had 118 last hits, but he had 41 denies, which is really, really good. That means that the enemy didn't get to kill 41 of our own guys, of our team. The Dire didn't get to kill 41 Radiant creeps, because Viper killed them instead, which is good. So we denied 6, 41, 9 nines, that's 50, 62, that's 71 creeps. 71 creeps that my team killed or denied on our team that they wouldn't have been able to last hit. They couldn't last hit them because we denied them, which denies them XP and gold. So you think